They left the stage to thunderous applause. But never made it to the next city. Hotels, airports, tour buses, places meant for rest became sites of tragedy.
We were driving from Stockholm to Copenhagen, and all of a sudden we hit a patch of ice, and the whole bus just started flipping over. The guy comes in and says, "Your bass player's dead."
Some collapsed mid-performance. Others died alone in the silence between shows. And in every case, the music stopped far too soon. This is the untold story of 10 famous band members who died while on tour. Their lives burned fast, their music brighter still. Brilliance arrested mid-flight, not by fading. Relevance, but by destiny's merciless timing. Buddy Holly, bespectacled prophet of rock's future, reshaped sound with a craftsman's precision. He carried Lubbock's dust in his drawl and electrified stages with discipline. Beyond his 22 years, each chord hinted at what rock might become: meticulous, restless, boundary-breaking. He wasn't meant to vanish as exhaustion mounted and bus wheels froze. Yet the search for rest demanded its price. Ritchie Valens, only 17, embodied possibility itself. Shy off stage, on stage he became a storm, transforming La Bamba into history's first bridge between Latin roots and mainstream rock. Singing phonetically, he lit a path for voices long muted. His story was just beginning. A coin toss sealed his fate. The seat he won carried him into legend. The Big Bopper, booming with wit and warmth, had carved himself into culture through humor, radio charm, and songs built to endure. He should have been remembered as a showman, not as a body found furthest from the wreckage, felled at 28 while his wife carried their child. Clear Lake, Iowa, February 3, 1959. A plane lifted into a blizzard sky and fell within minutes. 3 musicians gone, the day christened the day the music died.
I'm Jim Croce, and I live here.
Jim Croce lived like one of his own songs, plain yet vivid, stitched with laughter, heartache, and resilience, until the music stopped too soon. From South Philadelphia's Italian streets, he absorbed the rhythms of kitchen table tales and spun them into melody. First on accordion, then guitar, his gift was turning ordinary struggles into lyrics that felt like confidences. Audiences didn't hear a star, they heard a friend. Success came suddenly. With Maury Muehleisen's guitar threading through his own, Croce wrote hymns for the unsung. Bad, Bad Leroy Brown, Operator, Time in a Bottle.
To be enough time to do the things you want to do once.
His music carried wit without cruelty, sorrow without surrender, grinning even as it ached. He wasn't chasing fame, only truth. Fame caught him anyway. 300 shows, chart, toppers, TV spots, yet he wore it lightly, never forgetting where he came from. Then came the reckoning. September 20th, 1973. A Louisiana show, a Beechcraft in fog, a fatal crash. Croce was 30, Maury beside him. The bitter irony. Time in a Bottle reached #1 only after his death. He left number, excess, just grace. Proof that plain-spoken truth outlasts flash. His silence became his last. Note, lingering still. There was something inevitable about Ronnie Van Zant, the way he carried himself like a man already halfway to legend, boots planted in the red clay of his own mythology. He came up from Jacksonville's rough side, where boys fought before they smiled. Their lessons stuck. His voice held the gravel of pool hall brawls and the grace of a back porch. Poet, he wasn't pretty, wasn't polite, just real in a way that made factory hands and outlaws. Alike sit up when he sang. To his band, he was the North Star. To his fans, closer to kin. By '77, Skynyrd wasn't just a band. It was the South's heartbeat. Free Bird wasn't a song. It was a birthright. Sweet Home Alabama wasn't defense. It was defiance. Ronnie stood. Center stage, cowboy hat tilted, grin sly, as if he already knew how this ended. He'd say he wouldn't see 30, casual as a weather report, and it froze blood. Then came October's chill, a failing plane, metal into pine, 29 years old, Steve and his Cassie with him. Survivors carried the wreckage in their bones. What lingered was louder than mourning. Johnny carried the mantle, but Ronnie's shadow stretched long. Every Tuesday's gone became communion. He'd baked his exit into the dirt verses, nothing gold can stay. Yet when Sweet Home Alabama crackles through busted speakers, time bends. Ronnie is there again, alive as thunder, dead as pine, forever young, forever trouble, forever right. The first notes of Randy Rhoads' story hinted at quiet promise, until his hands met the fretboard and ignited a revolution. A California kid with a bookish air, he defied rock cliches. While others drowned in excess, he collected model trains, chain-smoked over sheet music, and practiced to bleeding fingers. His voice was soft, his guitar a storm. He fused Baroque precision with heavy metal fire. Crazy Train as initiation, Mr. Crowley as ritual. By 25, he had already redrawn metal's map, from Quiet Riot's clubs to Ozzy Osbourne's stages. Rhoads chased perfection, not stardom. His solos were studied like scripture. He dreamed of conservatories, but fate intervened.
I've got a lot of work to do, and makes you realize there's a lot of responsibility. And this tour, I want to really get myself together and work harder, you know, because I'm really proud and honored, and I don't want to stop here, you know.
March 19th, 1982, a stalled bus, a reckless pilot, a borrowed plane, the third low pass struck, metal. Flames consumed all. Rhoads, beyond recognition, was identified by his jewelry. Metal's most disciplined mind erased by chaos. 2 albums, that's all. Yet his Jackson guitar became a relic, his classical metal hybrid a new dialect. Tributes, vigils, generations of shredders still trace his ghost. He wasn't dimmed. He was cut mid-arpeggio, forever brilliant, forever unfinished. The world wasn't ready for Cliff Burton, and maybe that's why it couldn't keep him. From the moment he picked up his bass, metal's rulebook ignited. California born yet. Untamed, he fused classical mastery with thrash's violence, elevating bass from background to battleground. His Rickenbackers screamed melody and menace in equal measure. 2. Metallica, he was the compass. To fans, an alchemist turning noise into art. By 24, he had reshaped metal 3 times over. Kill 'Em All sparked the uprising. Ride the Lightning deepened it. Master of Puppets proved it immortal. His solo, Anesthesia, pulling teeth, was manifesto, declaring heaviness and harmony allies. On stage, hair whipping like a battle flag, he centered the storm with monk-like calm. Offstage, a philosopher in bell bottoms, quoting Bach instead of boasting. Then came Sweden, September 27th, 1986. A bunk won by card draw, a bus sliding on frozen. Asphalt Burton thrown and crushed beneath it. Even the crane seemed unwilling to let him go. Ashes scattered at Maxwell Ranch, but his ghost remained. To live is to die became Seance, his riffs speaking from beyond. Burton wasn't just a bassist, he was the soul of metal itself, still burning through Orion. The moment Stevie Ray Vaughan's fingers hit the strings, time stopped. Each note carried history's weight and revolution's spark, a fusion of past and future that burned out too soon. This Texas tornado didn't just play the blues, he resurrected them for a generation ready to. Forget born in working-class Dallas, he wielded a battered Stratocaster like a divining rod, summoning ghosts of legends while forging something wholly new. His playing was muscle and miracle, ferocious enough to peel paint, tender enough to break your heart. Off stage, he fought demons until sobriety sanctified him, playing every set as if it were his last. When the 80s sidelined the blues, Vaughan became its prophet. Texas Flood was no debut, but a declaration of war. Suddenly, pride and joy roared from radios. Lenny reduced, veterans to tears, and his cameo on Bowie's Let's Dance proved the blues still breathed.
You must water, you see a man get me.
In step, he was triumphant, Grammy-winning, sober, relentless. Then came Alpine Valley, 1990. Sharing the stage with Clapton and Guy should have crowned him. Instead, fog, a hillside, and silence. A helicopter crash claimed him at 35. Yet his influence only swells. Guitarists chase his fire. Stratocasters fly off shelves when Texas Flood hits. Stevie Ray Vaughan left lightning in a bottle. Proof the blues still live, eternal and untamed. When Darrell Abbott strapped on his Dean, metal changed forever. Not just sound, but in spirit.
It was pretty mainstream heavy metal for me, you know? Like Iron Maiden, Van Halen, Black Sabbath, of course, you know?
Dimebag Darrell, born in Arlington, Texas, played with a grin as loud as his riffs. With a brother Vinnie Paul, he forged metal's fiercest duo, groove and thunder inseparable. To fans, he was never untouchable. He was Dime. The guy who stayed for beers, who turned every handshake into brotherhood. Pantera didn't follow trends, they set them. Cowboys from Hell declared war on mediocrity. The scream of Cemetery Gates, the stomp of Walk, they became scripture, by far. Beyond driven, Dime had made brutal metal a chart-topping force without compromise. Then, December 8th, 2004. On stage in Columbus, mid-song, he was shot down. A man who built community, taken by violence. He was 38. The tributes told the story. Van Halen's guitar in his casket, Arlington turned shrine, fans, raising blacktooth grins worldwide. His legacy isn't nostalgia. It's alive in every harmonic, every dive bar cover, every anthem that dares you to live loud. Dimebag Darrell didn't just play metal, he was metal. Scott Weiland didn't just front bands. He embodied rock's contradictions, light and darkness, colliding in one figure. California-born, Midwest-raised, he treated identity as costume and stage as sanctuary. His voice snarled with menace on Dead and Bloated, then slipped into Velvet Ache on Atlanta. Each show felt like confession, audiences drawn into a seance of glam, grunge, and poetry. With Stone Temple Pilots, he gave the 90s its soundtrack. Core and Purple weren't just hits, they were cultural passports. Plush voiced a generation's alienation while Interstate Love song proved heartbreak could be distilled into 3 minutes. Velvet Revolver let him play. Rock Deity, growling slither with feral fire. Still, Weiland resisted containment, chasing reinvention through solo ventures and collaborations. December 3rd, 2015. Bloomington, Minnesota. A tour bus bunk became his final stage. At 48, years of struggle closed in, chemicals and wear ending what stages never could. Yet his ghost sings on. Vaseline still rattles rooms. Sour Girl still steals breath. Q. Trippin' on a hole in a paper heart. And he reappears, hat tilted, eyes coal-lined, forever, dancing at the abyss. The first time you heard Chris Cornell sing, you remembered. Because a voice like that doesn't just reach ears, it rewires souls. Seattle's shadows birthed him, but his sound belonged everywhere. A 4-octave siren, shifting from wounded whisper to hurricane roar in a single breath. That voice defined an era, carrying both dread, fell on black days, and fragile hope, can't change me. Offstage, he was quiet, thoughtful, the man scribbling poetry in hotel rooms before tearing roofs off arenas hours later. With Soundgarden, he helped architect grunge while pushing beyond it. Super Unknown wasn't just a record. It was a black hole consuming rock's conventions, spitting back black, Hole Suns, surreal despair, and Spoonman's clangorous release. Temple of the Dogs. Hunger Strike turned grief into anthem. Cornell and Eddie Vedder howling like twin brothers. Later, with Audioslave, his yearning on Like a Stone made spiritual ache sound, eternal.
Detroit 911. I have a 50-year-old male inside of room 1136. The guest was attempting to himself. He's not breathing. No.
May 18th, 2017, hours after leaving Detroit's Fox Theater stage to roaring applause, Cornell was found in his hotel room. The verdict, suicide, felt unbearably cruel, his songs having steadied so many others, yet his voice endures. Shadow on the Sun still raises goosebumps. Show Me How To Live still jolts fresh ears awake. Cornell didn't just write songs, he left lifelines. His end was human, his art immortal. The sight of Taylor Hawkins behind a kit was pure ignition. Before the first snare cracked, you could already feel the electricity building. The promise that something joyous, reckless, and unforgettable was about to erupt. From his early days bashing away in Laguna Beach garages to anchoring the Foo Fighters. On the world's biggest stages, Hawkins played like a man permanently plugged into a higher voltage. That mop of blonde hair, that feral grin mid-fill, he was the rare drummer who turned rhythm into spectacle. Within the band, he was more than backbone. He was adrenaline, the spark that could transform a crowd into a single roaring organism. Offstage, the same. Charisma glowed. Part prankster, part mentor, the guy who could make a hotel lobby jam feel like Madison Square Garden. His partnership with Dave Grohl was telepathic, 2 drummers speaking one language. Learn to Fly soared on his lift. Everlong detonated on his fury. Side projects spilled out of him, the Beatlesque shimmer of the Coattail Riders, the punk prog fire of NHC, proof he couldn't cage creativity. Then Bogota, March 25th, 2022. Chest pains, a hotel room, silence at 50, the cruelest twist. The drummer who mastered time ran out of it. But Hawkins' echo roars on, in tributes and raised drumsticks in every downbeat of Best of You. He made rock fun again, and that fun, eternal. Behind the roaring crowds and backstage chaos, some of rock's most unforgettable voices were silenced far too soon. The road doesn't forgive. It takes without warning, leaving empty spots on the tour bus, silent spaces on the stage, and futures of unwritten songs. In life's cruelest twist, the very thing that made them legends, the endless travel, the adrenaline, the grind of the road, also stole them from the world. Some were cut down at their peak, their genius extinguished before its full flame could shine. Others fought silent battles, their final performances given through pain. We honor them today not just for the anthems they left behind, but for the journeys they never finished, the shows they never played, and the music we'll never hear. Rest in peace to the fallen. May your riffs echo forever, and your spirit live on in every chord. Whose story hits you the hardest? Share your memories below. If this tribute has moved you, keep their legacies alive. Like, subscribe, and join us as we remember more of these fallen stars. Until next time, let this truth linger in the silence between songs. Some of the greatest never got to take their final bow.